Hi, welcome to this session of Marc Explains. Today is about event sourcing. I'm bringing you a practical introduction on multiple levels. Event sourcing is an architectural pattern which uses a different paradigm for storing state of an application. The regular way of storing state of an application involves directly modifying the current state of the application in response to user actions and other events. In contrast, event sourcing involves recording the changes to the state as a sequence of events rather than updating the state directly. These events can then be used to reconstruct the current state of the application at any point in time. So it is an architectural pattern, but there's a lot more to it. First, I want to introduce a way of thinking in events. And that it might be even a bigger context for that, but I won't get into that too much. Of course, there are also lots of benefits on a business level. I will briefly talk about them as well. Event sourcing is coming from the domain-driven design background. And with domain-driven design, you strive for a ubiquitous language for everybody. So everybody on the team understands the terms, the verbs, the language, and we're all using the same language for the same things. When you have a ubiquitous language, you will also find out that there will be different terms and verbs for modifying your application, modifying your state, doing actions, and using the application state, querying the application state. And even there's different language for the changes of the state. These are called events, obviously. So you also need to model those events. And there's a special part and a special way for that. There's even a special way of finding them and having a brainstorm on how to model these events. And that's the event storming practice. And eventually it will be an architectural pattern, so we need to understand some architecture, and we'll have to understand what the software development impact is. So these will all be covered in this event sourcing series. And there are certain levels to the event sourcing. So first I want to think of the first level and understanding the way of thinking on events. A little bit covering domain-driven design and ubiquitous language, but really grasping the way of thinking. Secondly, we'll dive into the event modeling. Then we go to the architectural parts, and finally we'll dive in the software development aspects of event sourcing. Of course, I will also have a separate video on the business benefits, and I might add also some greater context and something about event storming, although there's a lot available on the internet already. So these are the levels of this event sourcing series, which together form a practical introduction on multiple levels. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.